What's up everybody, my name is Noel. Today I'm going to be discussing my 30-day cold plunge experience, my results, and if I'm going to be continue doing this in the future. Before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that I'm not a medical professional, so this is just experiences that I've had with cold exposure and doing this cold plunge experience. If you have any concerns or any questions about that kind of stuff, please consult with your doctor and he can give you a more explanation on if this is right for you or not. Before this, I really didn't have that much cold exposure to begin with. I really didn't like the cold, to be honest. I always just wanted to feel comfortable, and I felt like cold was just too uncomfortable for me all the time. So the only times I ever did anything related to this was in high school. After a few games or not of basketball, my coaches would tell me like, hey, take an ice bath or go take a cold shower, just to help your muscles. And that's all I really knew cold exposure was for until sometime around last year. I came across a video from Andrew Huberman and Joe Rogan speaking about cold plunges and cold exposure and the benefits and the science behind it. And I decided to jump on board and just, buy a cold plunge and give it a shot and see what benefits I can get from it. So I went and bought a cold plunge off of Amazon, just one of those inflatable ones. It was like $60. It works just fine for us right now because it's cold outside, it's the winter. So putting regular water in and switching it out every couple days, it does get to like, between 45 and 55 degrees, depending on how cold it was overnight, which is perfect for us. So when I started doing the cold plunges, I started doing them the first thing I did every morning, no matter what time I woke up, but I made sure that I was waking up between 5 and 7 o'clock, depending on what time I went to sleep. But I had to make sure that the first thing I did was get into the cold plunge. And the first couple of weeks was really tough, really mentally tough. It was hard for me to bear with the coldness of the water and being outside in the cold. I started noticing that I was shaking a lot in there, and after 30 seconds, and I would be like, man, can I even make it to a minute, let alone 2 minutes? But my wife would always be like, you're fine, nothing's gonna happen to you, just keep going. So I just kind of went on with it. But I also noticed that after getting out of the water for another couple hours, I feel like my body was just internally cold, and I didn't like that. We had a little process with my wife where as soon as we got done with the cold plunges, we would come in here, kind of layer up, and then sit next to a heater for 15-20 minutes to just actually feel a little bit better. And that kind of sucked. I was noticing, I was like, man, I don't know if this is going to be right for me. I don't know if I can keep doing this and feel like this for, it was honestly a couple of hours where I felt like my body was just internally cold, and it was hard to deal with for those couple of hours, and I didn't like it. And also getting into the water hasn't got any easier. Knowing that you're going to be getting into the cold water kind of psychs you out and makes you want to just, get back into bed and just, say another day. But yeah, that hasn't got any easier. I don't wake up saying oh man, this is amazing, I love getting into this water, this feels so good. Nothing like that. I'm not one of those people that are going to sit here and tell you that the mentality part like that has gotten any easier. But that's the challenging part, and that's the fun part. That's what I see now. On to the benefits. Honestly, I've noticed a lot of benefits, especially mentally. I've noticed that my focus has gotten so much better, especially in the first couple of hours after doing a cold plunge. I've noticed myself more engaging with things that I'm doing in the present time and not so worried about everything else. Whatever my task is, that's what I'm doing, and I'm just so mentally focused on it. It could be as something playing with my kids in the morning before they go to school. I'm more engaging with them. I feel more energized, and I just more ready. But yeah, definitely my mental focus has gotten a lot better, and which leads to my meditations being better. I usually meditate right after I do a cold plunge, unless my kids wake up earlier, but my goal is to get that done. And I do notice that my meditations are a lot faster, getting into my meditation. Next, I believe it helped me out with my anxiety. The reason being, like I said before, it was the fact that when I have anxiety, it's because of a lot of stuff that I don't have control of, as far as my past or anything in the future that I'm scared of. And what I've noticed with these cold plunges was that, like I said, I was more mentally focused and I was more present in the moment with whatever I was doing, that it helped me just get my head off of those things and really focus in on what I'm doing now. And it really calmed me down throughout the whole day to not worry about things anymore. And my anxiety has been reduced to a good minimum where I feel good about it. I also noticed that my discipline got a lot better. I was taking action faster on things that I didn't want to do before. I think that's because when you're doing a cold plunge, you're kind of having a mental battle with yourself about having to get it done, and really telling your mind hey, I'm in control, I run the show, we're gonna get into this water regardless. Kind of takes some momentum going forward with other things that you kind of procrastinate throughout the day. I started seeing a lot more productive things being done throughout my day just by starting my morning with doing a cold plunge. Will I continue doing this in the future? And yes, I'm definitely gonna be continuing this in the future because honestly, the benefits have been so amazing that I can't see myself stopping now. My anxiety is down, my mood is better, I have more energy throughout the day, I feel more focused, get more things done. I just feel better throughout the day when I do my cold plunges, that I feel like there's no reason for me to stop. I'm actually looking into buying a new cold plunge, one that has a chiller, because here where I live in the summer it gets really hot. It's gonna be really tough to keep the water cold throughout the night like that, and buying ice all the time is just not something that I want to do. So we are investing in a new cold plunge here soon. But absolutely, this has been a fascinating thing for me, is because I do feel like it's changed me for the better, and I don't plan on stopping. Please let me know if you guys have any questions, concerns, or any tips. Leave them in the comments below. Subscribe and hit the like button. I'm gonna be posting at least once a week. Thank you and have a good day.